What's going on, everyone out there in YouTube land? So today we got a review on not a mod, not an atomizer, not an e-liquid, but a DIY kit. Yes, a DIY kit. You guys know what these things are, right? It's a case, holds all your rebuildable tools, screwdrivers, needle nose pliers, wire, etc., etc. Yeah. Usually, I'm not a fan of these things, but let me tell you, Coil Master has really stepped up their game, and this is one badass kit. And let me tell you, I've been using this since I got it. I actually put my tools aside and started using these tools, and I am very impressed with this kit right here. This was sent on directly from Coil Master for the purpose of this review. If you guys want to pick one up, check one out, get some more information on it after the video, head over to coilmaster.net. They're asking $49.99 for this complete kit. Let me tell you, well worth the price, well worth it for what you get in here, and yeah. That's all I got to say right now. So without talking your ear off, let's dive down. Let's get up close and personal with the Coil Master DIY kit version number 2. Alright guys, here we are up close and personal with the Coil Master DIY kit version number 2. Comes in this really nice kind of rubber, kind of silicone, kind of foam case. Feels pretty heavy duty. We got a dual zipper going around the edge here, and they're going with this black and red theme, which is really nice. All the tools and accessories have that black and red color theme going on. Really gives the kit a very nice professional look. Open up the case, and we are presented with a variety of rebuilding tools. And let me tell you, Coil Master has really stepped up their game with these tools. So we're just going to run through this real quick, and then I'll give you guys a one-on-one look with each tool. I'll just dive through it real quick though. Right here we have the Coil Master ohm meter, resistance checker. Right here we have the Coil Master version 3 coiling jig. Here are your coiling rods. They do offer a small little spool of 24 gauge Kanthal wire. You can replace that with your own spool of wire. We have some folding scissors, and let me tell you, these scissors are awesome. Over here we have some needle tip bent tweezers, ceramic tweezers, some custom made Coil Master Phillips head and flathead screwdrivers, a pair of needle nose pliers, and also some wire snips. Also in the case, you'll have 2 foam cutouts. There will be foam inserts in here. You have to pull the foam inserts out, and you can actually store 2 18650 batteries in here. Alright, so let's start off with the Coil Master ohm meter. Just your basic run-of-the-mill ohm reader. You know, the $15, $19.99 ones that come out of China. Nothing fancy here. I have owned one of these for almost 2 years, and it actually lasted me 2 years. They're not that well built, but they get the job done. As long as you don't build your coils on them and, you know, really abuse these things, they will last you a long time. Another nice bonus is that they actually include their brand new Coil Master version 3 coiling jig, and this is going to be their newest coil jig. This one runs for around $25, and the version 3 is actually pretty damn nice. I wasn't a fan of the version 2, just really wasn't a fan of it, but the version 3 is really improved over the version 2. It's much larger, much more easier to use, and the coiling rods are actually much longer now. So when you go to mount your coil on your atomizer, you could actually fit the entire coiling rod on the deck of your atomizer. I really like these coiling rods, just much easier to use. Also, they did stamp in the size of the coiling rod, so now you're not guessing anymore, you know, which coiling rod you got. And another little added touch is this little silicone case that holds all the rods. What I hated about the original Coil Master version 2 was the rods were just kind of, you know, there was nowhere to put them, nowhere to store them at, and I would always lose the coiling rods. But now we have a nice little case that holds all the rods, and then we have a little Allen screwdriver here so that when you need to remove the set screw in the top cap, you don't need to fish around for a screwdriver. Everything is nice and tight in this little case. Next up, they include just a little spool of 10 feet of Kanthal wire, 24 gauge. You know, you can replace this with your own wire, or you can unspool it and just spool this up with your own wire. Just a little added bonus they threw into the kit, but I really do like the fact that it does hold at least one spool of wire. Next up are the scissors. Now, I have to say, when it comes to these DIY kits, usually the scissors really suck. And I know a lot of people are like, man, they're scissors. What's the big deal? Who cares? Honestly, scissors are very important to me. There's nothing more annoying than building a perfect coil, wicking it up, and then using a pair of cheap scissors that snag onto cotton or won't cut the cotton. These scissors that Coil Master uses they're pretty damn nice. They are folding like retractable scissors, so you pull them out like so, and then you fold them out and you're good to go. I have a piece of cotton right here, and usually if you got a cheap pair of scissors, you have to cut it 2, 3, 4 times to get a nice clean cut. But with these scissors, bam, one cut, and we get a nice clean cut. Usually I have to use these scissors that I purchased. These things cost me 20 bucks, and these give me a nice perfect cut also, but yeah, $20 for these little scissors. The Coil Master scissors have actually replaced my $20 scissors. Next up, we have a nice pair of bent tip stainless steel tweezers. Now these are the pointy tip ones. These are more used for placing your cotton inside the juice well or down in the chimney, or if you use stainless steel mesh, these are really good to kind of hold your rolled up stainless steel mesh so that way you can torch it. These do come in pretty handy. Nice stainless steel design, and we have Coil Master etched on the end right here on the handle. And what rebuilding kit would not be complete without a pair of ceramic tip tweezers? Even if you don't own a DIY kit, I strongly suggest going out and buying a pair of these ceramic tip tweezers. These are a must if you're into rebuilding. You can crimp your coils, fire your mod, and not have to worry about anything. I am a huge fan of ceramic tip tweezers, and I'm glad that Coil Master actually included 2 different types of tweezers. Once again, these are used in the same stainless steel body as the other ones, and then we have the ceramic tips, and they are replaceable if you do crack them. And then next up, we do have these custom-made Coil Master screwdrivers. They are black and red. We do have a Phillips screwdriver and a flathead, and these are actually some pretty high-quality screwdrivers. These are not the cheap dollar store ones that you see in all the other DIY kits. I have been using these, and they're very comfortable to use. Very lightweight. They're made of aluminum. Next up, we have a standard pair of needle nose pliers. These are really good for, you know, doing wire builds, crimping your wires together, or if you're twisting your wire in your drill and whatnot. These are just very basic. They do have the red and black kind of theme color going on. We do have some nice rubber on the ends right here to kind of grip your hands. They are spring-loaded. And last up are going to be the wire snips. At least that's what I'm calling them. I use these pretty much to cut all my Kanthal wire, cut it off the spool, cut the wire off the posts, and these are some pretty decent wire cutters. I actually use these wire cutters. These cost me around $10, and I've been using these for quite a while now, and it seems that the Coil Master ones are pretty much identical from the ones I've been using. The last thing that I really like about this kit is the fact that they put these little cutouts for your fingers so that you can easily access the tools, and you don't have to kind of, you know, dig in there and try to get your finger in there to remove the tools. Real easy to access all these tools. My big fat fingers can actually fit inside there, pop out the tools real easily. And it's another just small little added feature that they included on this case. I really think they really thought out the design on this case, and they did a really good job. Alright guys, so that's going to be it for the up close and personal with the DIY kit version 2 from Coil Master. Let's jump back up and let's talk about it just a little bit more. Alright guys, there you have it, up close and personal with the DIY kit version 2 by Coil Master. Even though I can't really vape this, I'm going to have a vape. Alright, so let's have a quick chat about DIY kits. Personally, I'm never a fan of DIY kits, and the reason for that is I've never came across one that I liked. They were always really cheap, cheesy kits. They always had a fancy case to them. You open them up, and it's like walking into a dollar store. They would always come with like cheap screwdrivers, cheap scissors, cheap pliers. Everything inside there was cheap, but the case, oh yeah, the case always looked so good. So last week, got my vape mail. This showed up. I'm like, oh no, not a DIY kit. No, oh no, I don't want another one of these things. And I thought for sure this was going to be garbage. I opened it up, and let me tell you, I was shocked. I was really impressed with the quality of tools that Coil Master actually put into this thing. So I figured, okay, well, the tools look good, but they're probably junk. And when I started using all the tools, I was pretty impressed with them. The main test of them all, for me, when it comes to these DIY kits, is the scissors. The scissors are very important. And I don't know why. I know a lot of people out there don't care if they use like nail clippers. They use like wire cutters to cut their cotton. For me, it's all about the scissors. When I build a coil and I wick it up, I want to be able to take my scissors. One snip should cut that cotton. And trust me, I've been through so many sets of scissors until I found the perfect pair. These cost me 20 bucks. Okay, so $20 for a pair of scissors to cut cotton is really crazy. Another thing that's really important to me are screwdrivers. I've done the dollar store thing. I've done the hardware store thing. I've actually went out to Sears. I picked up 2 Craftsman micro screwdrivers. With tax, these were almost 20 bucks. And they're kind of on the large side, but still, using a quality screwdriver will not strip your screws. If you're rebuilding on a $100 RDA, or if you're rebuilding on a $20 RDA, and you notice your screws are always stripping, more than likely you're using the wrong screwdriver, or you're using like a cheap screwdriver, and the head on that screwdriver is tearing up your screws. And when this thing arrived, like I said, I thought for sure it was going to be garbage, but let me tell you, man, very, very impressive with this thing. And the price they're asking, 50 bucks, may seem high, but you got to think about it. The Coil Master V3 coiling jig in here is selling for, what is it, $29 or $25? It's selling for $25 by itself. So you figure 25 bucks or 20 bucks for the coiling jig. These ohm meters right here run 15 bucks, 20 bucks, but we'll just say 10 bucks. So you're looking at 35 bucks. And then, it pretty much all balances out. This thing probably can go for well over 50 bucks. I think it's well worth the $50 price tag. For me, I don't travel at all. I hardly ever travel. The only place I get to go to is like Vape Bash in Chicago, since I'm from Chicago. But if you travel a lot to vape meets and stuff like that, this is a must. Right here, this is a must. Even though I don't travel, I will still be using this kit. I've been just using the tools out of it and kind of just setting the case aside because the tools in here are really high quality. So, even if you don't travel and you're looking for kind of like an all-in-one kit where you can get all your tools at once rather than shopping on like Amazon and Home Depot and everything else and kind of picking each and every individual tool separately, I think this Coil Master V2 kit, real good choice. I really honestly have no complaints about it. The ohm meter on here is kind of a cheap ohm meter, I'll give you that, but trust me, I've owned one of these little cheap Chinese $15 ohm meters, and that thing lasted me like close to 2 years. Just make sure you don't build on it. Don't build on these things, because when you build on them, you put pressure on that 510 connection, eventually it breaks. But that's the reason why mine lasted so long, is because I didn't build on it. Alright guys, so that's all I got for you today on the Coil Master version 2 DIY kit. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below. Please feel free to hit that subscribe button. I'll talk to everyone very, very soon. Make sure you guys build safe and vape on.